love Herm Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's awesome. I didn't realize you were such a fan.
Oh, I've been an Eagles fan since growing up. The fumble, you remember that? Against the Giants to win the game? Greatest play in the history of the NFL?
Really was. What a speech there.
Unbelievable motivational speaker.
The whole room was like so fired up.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
That's so awesome.
Hey, Harry, last cookie. You want this?
Go leave it there. I'll come in and get it.
No, I'll throw it.
No.
What just happened?
You blew it. That's what just happened. You can't have sloppy cookie handling when Coach Herm Edwards is around, Ethan. Ethan, drop. Give me 20.
Hey, Harry, there's one more bottle of water.
No. Go get it.
Hey, Harry, you got a live show to do.
Oh, live show? No script? What could possibly go wrong?
This is Callaway Live. I'm Harry Arnett. This is the launch week crowd, is it not? I can tell. There's always a little something more special in the air when we're launching a product and we have Callaway Live on the same night. Do you know how many times that's happened in the past, Amanda?
0.
Never. Yes, it's the first time. So welcome everybody here, and what a weekend. I mean, I think we had 72 wins around the world over the weekend.
Close.
Am I right about
6.
that? Might have been. Oh, just 6?
Yeah.
6 wins around the world. Of course, Patrick Reed won at the Barclays. We had Thomas Peters win on the European Tour. Yes.
Yep.
Many of you probably didn't know this. We had a major champion over the weekend. It was a Korean major, but that's okay. We count that. 8 Odyssey wins over the weekend. And still, we felt like, you know what? People in golf are feeling a little down. I feel like the media's kicked us a little bit. They're saying, oh, you know, there are not all that many people playing golf that much right now. It's too expensive. It takes too much time. And we thought, Callaway Live tonight, we're going to do the entire industry a favor, because that's what this show is. This is the industry show. This is not just a Callaway show, even though we are the best by far. This is an industry show, and tonight we are going to pick up the entire industry. Coach Herm Edwards is going to come out and give the entire industry a pep talk. Please say hello to Coach Herm Edwards. There he is! Coach! How are you?
I'm well.
Give us a pep talk. Give us a pep talk.
Thank you. Look, I'll just tell you this. Golf doesn't need a pep talk. It really doesn't. It doesn't. And I think the people at Callaway understand that. I mean, right now, in my opinion, what I witnessed today, the excitement about this company, the passion you folks bring to golf says a lot about where golf is going. I went down to the facility, got fitted today for some golf clubs and all that, and the professionalism of the people down there, along with yourselves. Look, I've been playing golf for a pretty long time. I'm not a good golfer at all. I just kind of slop it around. I hit it around left to right, but I'm involved with the first tee. And I see the opportunities that these young people have to play the game of golf. Golf is not going anywhere. It's ascending. It's not descending. It's ascending. Now, there might be some other products that are descending. You know what? And the reason for that is because of Callaway.
Yeah.
Because of you folks have an invested interest in golf. Don't lose sight of that. Your brand is big. And every time you leave this building, you think about the impact you have to make on golf now. Okay, golf's not going anywhere. So don't fall into the hype. You know, when you've been a coach and a player, if you start listening to people outside the building, you'll start believing it. Listen to the people inside the building because they know the truth. This is why you guys come to work here every day. You guys are going to make a difference in golf. I'll tell you that right now. And as I said before, I'm involved in the first tee. I watch those young people now that have the ability to play golf, where maybe 30 years ago they did not. So golf understands. This game starts when you're young, like anything. And now it's become a game of different varieties of people playing golf, which I think is important. Golf touches everybody. And when you touch young people, you got a chance to grow. This game's going to grow. You just keep doing what you do as Callaway because you're going to be a big part of the growth of golf. I thank you for that. I got 2 little girls that play golf. They're 10 and 11. I put golf clubs in their hands as fast as I can get them to them. So you're going to play golf. I'm trying to get a scholarship, by the way. Okay? I figured that out, too. So Callaway, you just keep doing what you're doing because you're going to be the standard bearer. Trust me. And after this, I'm going to turn it back over to my good friend Harry here, and I'm going to tell you about my golf story here. And there's a 2-ball golf story I have to tell after when we come back. And make sure you ask me about 2 golf balls.
I'm about to tweet
and
out.
I will explain to people why golf is not going anywhere if you play with 2 balls. That's kind of important. 2.
I like that.
2-ball rule.
Sounds like a soundbite to me, my friend. We're going to come back. Hey, I'm about to tweet out to everybody that I think golf's in trouble. Should I do that?
No. Tell them golf is fine.
Don't press send.
Do not press in.
Yeah. Love that. We're going to be right back with the coach.
Hank Haney, 30 seconds to better. This is Callaway's Big Bertha Fusion driver. It's the most forgiving driver they've ever made, but you want it to go a long way, too. How do you get the golf ball to go farther? You swing faster, not slower. The faster the swing, the better. When you take a swing, you hear that swish. The louder the swish, the more distance you're going to have. Try to be relaxed with your arms, relaxed with your hands and arms, and faster with your swing. That's going to give you more distance, make the game easier for you.
I want to run through something. I got to hit something, Coach.
I know.
You got to go. Okay, all right. I don't want to peek too
We'll
early.
let you hit this golf ball.
Yeah, okay. Hit that golf ball. This is a home game for you. Welcome back home.
It's good to be back home.
Yeah,
It's good. Not be in studio without a tie on and and all that other stuff you got to do.
I love it, and we put you to work on this TV show here.
It's all good.
Which is great.
Got a good fan base here.
Let's hear your golf ball story.
Here's a golf ball story for all those that obviously at times struggle with golf. I learned this as one of those golfers that sometimes it's not going good for you, right? And so what I do is I learned this lesson. I play with 2 balls, and I talk to the ball before I hit it. And when you get on one of those courses where there's water to the left and there's big bunkers to the right and there's just bad things about to happen, I tell the golf ball, I say, now here's the deal. If you decide to go in one of those bad places, I got a partner that he wants to play too, and when you go over there, I'm going to play with him. So when he gets lost, I don't even look for it. I just put the other one down, say, you're in the game, let's play. So that's my golf ball story, all right? You'd be surprised, it's a better game when you talk to the ball.
I love that. You have a golf ball depth chart.
Look, it's like in sports, everybody wants to play. Put the other guy in the game. It's okay.
I like that. Do we have a depth chart here? I don't know. I don't want to know if we do. When did you start playing?
Oh, I didn't start playing until I was, 32 years old. And
so a little bit late.
A little bit late. And the first event I play in actually is it was not the AT&T then. It was the Carsby. And
right.
I was still with the Eagles, and they asked me, so would you like to play golf? And, you're a professional football player. You say, yeah, I can play golf. Well, little did I know. And so first round, that's when they played at Cypress Point, played at Pebble Beach, and Spyglass. And so I'm playing with Peter Sr. You guys know Peter Sr. He's on the senior tour now. He was a rookie coming on the tour, and so we get up to the first tee, and I don't know how to play this game. I've got like a 3-iron. I don't have any woods. I just got all irons in this bag. He says, Herm, you don't have any woods. I said, they're just getting away. I'm going to just hit this 3-iron. So I hit it just as hard as I can hit it. So we get out about on 1, 2, 3, on 4. Fourth hole at Cypress, if you know it, it's a par 4 kind of going up a hill, a little right. And there's this guy that we're playing in front of, and it's like he's pacing, and the ball's in the middle of the fairway. It's a pro, and we're in the pro-am, and he's walking in the middle. I go, why does this guy keep walking? I said, what does he just hit the ball, because I'm like, I want to go. Let's go. And he says, no, you can't hit it. I said, you want me to hit this ball down there to speed him up? And Peter Sr. says, no. And I said, who is that? You'll appreciate this, all golf fans. Bernard Langer.
Oh. I know why you were trying to speed him up. Yeah.
And so, I'm about to hit down on Bernard Langer, and then from there, you kind of get hooked on the game of golf, and you start playing, and it's a game that you can never master. And it's a game of this, and I've always said this, when you spend 4 hours on a golf course with somebody, you find out a lot about them. Find a lot about yourself, too. And I promised myself, and maybe in my next life I'll do this. Maybe I'll drink and I'll smoke and I'll swear in my next life. In this life, I haven't done it yet. And I told myself, when I play this game of golf, if I ever throw a club, I quit. I've never done that. And I've hit a lot of bad shots in my lifetime, trust me. But you learn about yourself a lot, because this ball sits there, and it kind of looks at you and says, hit me. It has no defense. It can defend no one. I mean, your sisters will hit me, and then you sit there and you say, I'm really going to hit it. And it makes you really look bad at times. It's unique. And when you hit a good shot, you figured it out. You never get this game figured out.
That chrome soft golf ball right there is talking to you right now?
Yeah, it's talking to me. Every time I look at it, it says, can you hit me straight? I'm going to try.
Let's mic it up. Well, that's interesting that you're calm, cool, and collected on the golf course, because I always, as a coach and as a player, I always pictured you as being a little fiery.
Well, there's moments. But on golf, no. Now, when I was an athlete, and my demeanor kind of changes. There's a switch. When you're a football player, there's this switch that you turn on, and it's kind of interesting. It's one of those where you're in the huddle and everything is calm, and then I played corner my whole life, and when you walk outside the numbers, there's this guy you got to defend. It's kind of like that ball, and the switch goes on. And the switch tells me this, is that this guy is trying to run me out of the league. He's trying to run me out of the league, and I'm not going to let him do that. And I just think, like in life, and I'll tell the folks in the audience, the one thing I learned in life about sports and just about the work you do in business, you got to do this one thing. You got to be able to bet on yourself. You have to bet on yourself, ladies and gentlemen, in life. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. You have to have the conviction to bet on yourself. And in work and in sports, there's two types of people. There's people that are interested, and there's people that are committed. Callaway is committed to golf. There's a difference. See, a lot of people are interested, but when you commit to something, you don't need to know the score before the game's played. You understand what the score is going to be because you're committed, and you're going to end up winning. And people that are committed are the people I want on my team, and this is the team that Callaway has. There's people that are committed in this room to make golf better for everyone, and that says something about this organization.
Yeah, well, you haven't met everyone in this room.
I met enough. I know who the CEO is, and he's a Philly. He's kind of a Philly guy, so I know those Philly guys. I know they're committed.
Yep, he does a little officer and a gentleman. Yeah. We got no place else to go. Herm,
that's it.
We're in it.
That's it.
When did you get that? When did that philosophy for you as a player in this game dedicated to football, when did you first start to really feel that you were committed? Were you a little guy?
I didn't have a lot of options.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I didn't have a lot of options. My options were, my father was in the Army for 27 years. He didn't finish high school. My mom was a German war bride. She finished the 6th grade. She worked in the factories. No one had a high school education, basically. I knew my way out was basically to be an athlete. I was talented enough that I knew growing up that every time I played a sport, now not this game obviously, because it wasn't introduced to me as a young guy, but any other sport with a ball, I was better than everybody else. So I was gifted with some talent, and I didn't waste it. And I committed myself as a young age to say that if I didn't make it, I wasn't going to have an excuse that I should have done this or that. I went through the process of being available. And you know, sports and life is about participation. In athletics, it's about practice. And I exhausted myself to practice. I exhausted myself to make sure that at the end, when I looked myself in the mirror, I was going to be okay. That I did everything I could do to be successful, and it worked out pretty good. And it, you know, I've had a pretty good life. I mean, I've always told folks this: in 30 years of being in professional football, I mean, I was in that league for 30 years. And then from there, now, you know, they said, hey, Coach, you want the red light comes on, you could talk about football. I said, I'll do that too. It's not bad. So I've kind of been on recess my whole life. And now for me, I'm an ambassador for the game of football because what has provided me and my family and all the opportunities it's provided. This is why I'm here today. I mean, football brought me here. It's not for anything else. I mean, you know, because I'm on television, but football has connected me to so many great people and so many opportunities that I owe football that, to make sure it's coached right and played right. And when it's not, I'm going to say something.
At what point in your playing career did you decide that you wanted to, that was going to be your life?
Oh.
As a coach, I mean, and then
I
career
knew,
you just talked about.
Well, I knew when I was in high school that my options were, hey, I'm going to get a scholarship, and I'm going to be a pro football player. And I would tell anybody that would listen to me. And now everybody didn't think. They said, this guy's crazy. What are you talking about? High school. I told my high school coach, look, I'm really wasting my time here, but I should be a pro football player. That's how my mind worked, right? And it's kind of ironic. I'll tell this story. So I go right out of high school. I go to Cal Berkeley as a freshman, and I start. And I get into this dispute with a coach. And my sophomore year, I leave. And I go to junior college. And then they convinced me to come back, and I go back, and the coach, they move me to another position, and then I play my junior year, and I'm up for All-American. And the coach that was coaching me goes to the Raiders. And so the guy that I had a dispute with, he comes back, and guess what? He starts coaching me again, right? And I was one of those guys, and I think you folks understand this is why you're going to have success. You know, in life, and anything you do, people will tell you what to do. They'll tell you how to do it. But until they tell you why, you have no knowledge. And I was always searching for knowledge. And we were doing a drill one day, believe it or not, college football. There was 3 of us standing there, and one would jump on the ground, the other one would jump on the ground. We'd roll over each other. And I asked the coach, I said, Coach, why are we doing barrel rolls? I said, how does this make me a better defensive back? And he didn't, it was like I was questioning his authority. But I wanted to know why, because I said, this is the craziest drill I've ever seen. I said, we don't do this in football. And so that kind of sprung it. And then from there, he comes back. The other guy goes to the Raiders. And sure enough, in the spring, we get into it again. And the next thing you know, I'm at San Diego State. I leave Cal Berkeley coming to San Diego State without a scholarship. I have to sit out a year, and I basically work in the shipyard at night. So I go to school during the day, and I work in the shipyard from 3 o'clock until 12 o'clock at night, and I go back to school the next day because I don't have a scholarship because there's no scholarships available my first year there. So I played the next year, and we got a pretty good team. We're 10-1. Supposed to get drafted in the second round. Back then, in my era, there was 12 rounds of the draft. And the draft was on television the first round. Then after that, was on radio. So I was projected maybe to get drafted in the second round. And first round goes by, second round, and I'm sitting in no cell phones back in that day, by the way. And I'm sitting waiting for the telephone to ring, right? And second round goes by, and I'm listening on the radio, go, hadn't been picked yet. I said, that's interesting. Third round goes by, haven't been picked yet. I go, that's interesting. So the fourth round goes by, and I'm like, So if I get the phone, I call the operator. And I say, ma'am, will you do me a favor? I said, something's wrong with my phone. I think, could you call this number? So she calls and the phone rings. I pick it up. I go, this is not good, right? So I hang the phone back, and so I don't get drafted. There's 12 rounds. I don't get drafted. And there's a couple teams that want me to try out as a free agent. Dick Vermeil, who coached for the Philadelphia Eagles, he actually recruited me to UCLA, and I didn't go. And there was a couple other teams. And so I signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And back then, like you guys are bored with preseason games. When I came in the league in 1977, there was only 28 teams. There was 6 preseason games. 6, okay? 6, not 4, 6. And there was only 14 regular season games. And there was 125 guys in training camp. There wasn't like 90. There was 125. And so I can remember in the line we were standing in with the defensive backs, there were 22 of us. And I looked over at John Outlaw, who was a veteran guy. Now, I was a free agent, signed as a free agent. And I asked him a question. I said, how many guys make it that are defensive backs, John? He looked at me, he said, rookie, only 8 guys. I said, how many? He said, 8. So I looked back at him. I just looked at him straight in the eye, and I said, who are the other 7? And so he turns and he looks at me, and he goes, what did you just say, Rook? I said, who's the other 7? I said, I got nowhere to go. I can't go home. I got nowhere to go. Well, if you know the story, it's real simple. And this is why I say you bet on yourself. Probably the best accomplishment I've ever made as an athlete is that I never missed a practice or a start through high school to college, pro football. And I started the first day in Philadelphia as an Eagle corner, at the right corner, my rookie year. And I was the only rookie in the National Football League to start to play that position. I never missed a snap. I never missed a game, never missed a start. And that was probably the most important accomplishment I ever made because of this and for this reason only. When you're a part of a team and you commit to those people, you don't want to let them down. You don't want to let them down. And that was my commitment to these guys, that I was going to deal with the preparation of being the best player I could be, and I wanted to make sure that every day I was at practice. And that's why I'm a firm believer is life's not about being coachable, it's about being available. Are you available? Because if you're available, that tells me that you're committed to something. And so I was committed to it, and I was very fortunate. And as I said, played there for most of my career. Hold the record for most interceptions as an Eagle. Had 33 in the regular season, 5 in playoff competition. So I got about 38 of them. But that was my number one deal. I wanted to be available to my teammates and to the fans of Philadelphia, because I've learned something in life is that, the most powerful possession you have, and I have children, that you possess is your last name. And you give that to your children. And along with that, you have to realize whether you work for Callaway, whether you're in the National Football League, whether you're with ESPN, you represent that brand that you work for. And with that being said, I wanted to make sure that I did it right, and that when I got out of football, and when some of you folks, you get those big parachutes and you go off with your gold watch and they send you off and you retire, that I wanted to make sure that the game of football was better because I played it and coached it. And that becomes a part of your legacy. And you folks at Callaway have to remember that. Golf will be here for a long time, for our children's children. And you're in the forefront right now to make golf better, to make an impact, to make a difference. We all work to make a living, but you leave your mark when you make a difference. What will you do to make a difference in golf? What have I done to make a difference in football? And that's your goal, because that's your legacy. And you don't have to be an athlete, and your children carry that last name. And it's a powerful name that you have, and it becomes a part of your legacy, and don't lose sight of it, because that's the most powerful possession you ever give your children, because as we know, children can't choose their parents.
Mine try, Coach.
Yeah, they can't do it. Can't do it.
Mine try. I want to talk to you a little bit about coaching when we come back from the break, because I think the transition you made from player to coach is really a continuation of what you just talked about. We're going to be right back with Coach Herm Edwards.
One apple, take 3, Mark.
I could have been doing it. Now can we go with my line? Don't move. You're good right there.
Quiet on set.
So am I going again? Yeah. Get that line right. What's my line after that, though? To drop bombs. Bomb dropper. Yeah. I messed that line up. I forgot the line. You know what I say? Shh.
pretty fitting considering the fact he just won the Barclays and punched his ticket onto the U.S. Ryder Cup team. Can we get a little round of applause for that? Absolutely. Really exciting stuff. But, we were thinking about the fact Patrick Reed clearly very coachable. He's gotten better every season. So what's something we could do to grow the game with amateurs to maybe make it a little bit more enjoyable, make us better? Well, we decided we're going to send Herm Edwards out onto the course to make everybody more coachable. Check it out.
This is fun. How we doing? We only take birdies on this hole. No pars, no double bogeys. Just Herm Edwards is my name.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
I know you're Herman.
Pleased to meet you.
What you doing out here?
I'm filming you guys, getting you on television. Guys, get ready to get on television. Okay, here we go. We playing. Where you guys playing from? Back there? It's uphill, so you got to play at about 110, right? And we do not want to be short. Is that correct? That's 128. So with the wind, I play at least. You know what? Check that. I'd hit a 140. Where are we aiming here? Right at the flag? Not right at the flag, huh? I like it. Yes. There you go, smart man. Right side of the flag. Look at that golf shot. Did I club him right or what? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Keep going, keep going, keep going. When you put the 3 in the car, they don't take pictures. Just remember that. Hello?
You play to win the game.
He is correct. Good job, my friend.
I got to say, if that doesn't motivate you on the golf course, I don't know what does. I have had a lot of teachers in my life. My parents take me out on the course. My dad will say, I think this is going to be an 8-iron. I think if you said it, you'd be the only person I would ever listen to. Yes, no, you're right, Coach. We're definitely going to do that. But how fun was that out there? Everyone knew who you were. They were listening to you.
It was a lot of fun. And it's kind of ironic because, when they asked me to go out there, I figured, well, do these guys know that I'm coming? And they said, no, Coach. I said, so I'm just supposed to interrupt somebody that's playing golf, right?
Yeah.
It worked out good. And they were good sports.
Now, there is a line that you don't say very often. Right. But I need to ask you, what was the name of your book?
You play to win the game.
Oh,
I said it, but I don't say it with that emotion anymore.
Yeah, we actually have plenty of time. Do you guys have a lot of time to try and get this out of you?
No, here's the story. I'll tell you the story. You'll like the story. That happened on a Tuesday, by the way, the you play to win the game speech. And it's kind of ironic. We're in San Diego because it kind of
on a Tuesday
goes full circle. So we're sitting in a bad way, and the press asked me, hey, Coach, what are you going to do? You guys are 2-5. So it got to the point that we're almost asking me the question, are we going to quit? And that's never an option in life or anything. You can't quit. You sign on to do something, you finish. And so I kind of have that, I go, my little, that, whatever I said. And
you got pissed off.
It's on a Tuesday, but I really wasn't, man. I was okay. I just kind of got it out of my system. And then so you go to work, and, when you're a football coach on Tuesdays, there's no players in the room, and they're all off. And you work till about 1. So as I go home, the light turns on, and my wife's at the door. She says, what did you do today? And I went, what are you talking about? No, she's talking about, that happened like at 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, what are you talking about? She says, it's all over the news, everywhere. I said, what are you talking about right now? She said, she looks at me, she said, hello? And I went, oh, that one. And so Wednesday, the players come in. And so I'm about to dress the team like this, and we're gonna play the Chargers on Sunday. And I get up there, and as I get ready to speak to the team, the players hear this on Tuesday. And Chad Pennington is in the back of the room. And when I like players, and they're some of my favorites, I don't call them by their name, I just call them by their number. And if you know the Jets, Chad Pennington wore number 10. And he stood up, and he said, Coach. I said, yeah, 10, you got something to say? He said, yeah, Coach, I got something to say. So he stands up, and he says, we got you, Coach. And I said, okay, you got me? He said, we got you, Coach. So he sits down. I said, okay, let's break our meeting. So wind it forward. Saturday, we get here in San Diego. San Diego is 6-1, I believe it is.
Oh, this was a long time ago.
Yeah. They're pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm a Falcons fan, so believe me, I have no.
So they're 6-1, and they're a good football team. And I'm kind of talking to our team, and I'm telling them, hey, look, here's the deal. We're going to play the Chargers. And I said, I don't want to hear the cannon, because when they score, they shoot the cannon. And I said, I don't want to hear the cannon. I said, by the way, I said, if they shoot that thing 2 times early in this game, the 3rd time, men, we're going down there, and we're all stand in front of the cannon. We'll always just get blown up. So they look at me and they go, Coach is going crazy right now, right? So anyway, I know what's going to happen. I got a good feeling about our football team. And if you know about that game, basically, that was the game that we beat the Chargers. I forget how bad we beat them. We beat them. They ended up 8-8. We win the division. We go off on a 7-game run, and we actually won the division that year. But it was one of those situations where when you have a group of people, whether it's football players or just people in general, they need a leader that believes in them. And we were down. We were 2-5, but we had good players and we had good coaches, and it was just a matter of giving them some confidence to say, hey, we can do this, and that you got to lead them. And it's easy to lead when you're winning. That's the easiest thing in the world to do when the score's in favor. But I think when you're not winning, that's when people find out who you are, as a leader. And it was one of those speeches where you get a book after that, and a lot of good things happen. But more than anything else, the team trusted me, and I trusted them. And it was a fabulous season. It was a great season for us.
Didn't catch on as much as my statement to our team when I said, "Would somebody do something?" Didn't stand up as much. How much of being the head coach is X and O's versus motivation and creating an environment?
Yeah, it's more about the environment. Every coach knows X's and O's. They all know X's and O's. This is why you hire people. You hire coordinators and you let them do their job. I think the first thing you survey is when you become a coach or a leader, period, is that a couple things happen. You get this tremendous title. And what I always told players when I first took the job, look, I got to earn your respect. The title gives you, the title of the head coach, but you got to earn the people's respect. I said, I got to earn this. When you become a leader, it's a service position. You serve the people, they don't serve you. And your number one goal is this: don't allow them to fail. Don't allow them to fail. It's KYP, know your personnel. And once you determine that, then you put people in place and you have a philosophy and you let the people, breathe your philosophy through the organization. And so, there's comes times when you're a coach and you got to know the room. You got to know your players. And I was a big guy of doing this. I would take a list of players. I would write 5 guys' names down on a piece of paper every day. And I make sure that during the course of that day that I had a conversation with them. And it was never about football. It was about, hey, I heard your grandma was sick. Or I heard your daughter's birthday is coming up. Or it was about life. For me, coaching was this, and it was real simple. If I made them better men, then they'll be good football players. They'll be good football players, and they'll make good decisions. And that was my number one goal, is that when they left playing for me, they were good football players, but they were better fathers. They were better husbands. They were better in their community. And when you do that, team is about community. And maybe the greatest thing about a team is that when you walk in the huddle of football, there's no color. There's no status of I grew up over here, you grew up over here, and this guy was from Florida, he's from California. It didn't matter. There was a common respect for each other. There was this trust. And that's what you get out of football. That's what you get out of a team, is that everyone understands that we might not all agree, but for the betterment of the team, we respect each other, and we respect what each other does every day. And so that's what you try to accomplish as a coach.
That's, what'd you call that, PYT? What was
KYP,
that?
know your personnel.
KYP.
Know your personnel.
I think PYT might be a Michael Jackson song.
I think know your personnel.
I think I said that. Well, we really appreciate you being here, and I think we're satisfactorily fired up for the rest of the year. Are we not?
We're good.
Yes.
Good. So thank you,
Coach Herm Edwards. We'll see you next week on Callaway Live. We have Chris Harrison from The Bachelor following this.
The Bachelor?
You like that?
Oh, The Bachelor. My wife watches that show.
She does? That's a coach.